So I wanted to talk about the divine feminine. Now, one thing that inspired me to want to, there's two things that inspired me to want to do this. Number one, someone shared, which I actually follow her YouTube page now. I forget her name, but she made a video about fake feminism and how it is out of control. And I totally agree with that. Okay. And the reason why is that I feel like feminism is being used in ways that is not really feminism. It's actually more masculine, even though feminism can actually be both. That's why it's called feminine. It has the word men right in the middle of it, letting you know that it's actually both. So, but that video inspired me a lot. It touched me personally. A couple of things that she said in there touched me personally, and things that I'm going through in my own personal self-realization journey. I'm in this place where, like, I'm not all about the makeup, even though I put some lipstick on. And I even fought with myself about that, to be honest. Like, do I really need to put this on? Like, but it's this idea that, like, we can attract certain things to us based on how we look. And that is partially true, but that is not how the universe operates. The universe operates on your intentions, on your energy, on the words that you're using and what you think those words mean, the thoughts that you're having and how frequently you think about them. That is true feminism. True feminism is the parts that you can't see. And for some reason, I feel like we've gotten into this stage where we think that, like, putting on makeup and putting on heels and putting on, certain kind of clothes or whatever, those kind of things are feminine. That's partially true. That's the material part of feminism, which that's really the masculine manifestation of what's feminine. Let me say it one more time for you. When you're dressing up and you're putting on makeup and you're putting on heels and you're smelling good and you're, putting on certain kind of clothes because you want to quote unquote feel feminine, that's not actually feminine. That's a manifestation of what's feminine, because it's the mask. It's the masculine. It's putting on a mask. It's covering up how you actually look. Do you always walk around with a full face of makeup on, lipstick, eyeliner? Are you always wearing heels? When you want to be your most comfortable, natural self, you're not putting on no goddamn heels. Like, stop it. Stop, y'all. Stop. Because that's not what's happening. When you want to be your most comfortable, authentic self, you're not doing none of that shit. And feminine is to be your most comfortable, authentic, true self. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that was clear. I don't have anything against, wearing makeup and heels, and, I do that stuff too, but I want to make sure that we understand that that's material. See, look at the word material. It has mater on the front of it. That lets you know that it's still feminine, even though it's something physical. You can physically see it, but it's masculine at the same time. Okay. This can be a little bit confusing, which is why I actually do a whole class helping to understand how they work together. But to put on a mask, to put on makeup, a mask, that's masculine too. That's why the cosmos or cosmetology, people that do hair and nails and makeup, it's called cosmetology, because the cosmos literally means, like, to make something up, to make things appear, to enhance things. When you think about the feminine, I want you to think about a peacock. Go study the feminine peacock versus the masculine peacock. The feminine peacock is plain Jane, y'all. She's not dressed up. She ain't got no heels on. She ain't got no makeup on. She ain't got no perfume on. She don't got none of that shit. It's the masculine that's doing all that. The masculine got the pretty flowers and comes out and waves his feathers, and the masculine is up on a pole shaking his tail feather and all that. The feminine ain't doing that. That's almost through all nature. The feminine is just being its natural, authentic self and waiting for the masculine to pull up and let you do some tricks. Let me see you get up on a pole and flip around and shit. Like, she's waiting for him to do that. That's how it is in nature. That's how you know what the real feminine is. Study nature. Okay? She's very plain. She's just darkness, which is like nothing. Okay? Let me see. The internal is the real feminine. Yes, LC Davis. She was at my Atlanta class. Thank you. It's the ego which masks the true self. Exactly. Exactly. Do we have to ask ourselves, like I said, let me make sure I'm being clear. I don't have anything against makeup, but we have to ask ourselves when we are putting it on, why? See, you have to understand what why means. And if you think about what the Y chromosome is, that's what the masculine does. The masculine's job is to make your ass ask why. Sometimes we get into this divine feminine and we start thinking that like, oh, we're supposed to like destroy men and subdue men. And no, you're supposed to subdue the masculine ego within yourself. And you do that by asking why. The Y chromosome. I have a saying, the whys make you wise, meaning that asking yourself, why am I really doing this, is what's going to give you wisdom, is what's going to help you go deeper into what you're doing and why you're doing it. You're a tarot card reader. You're a, I don't know, you're a, what other kind of readers? Because I don't do any of that. I do words. I do names. Okay, that's, if you're new to my page, I do, and you want to know what kind of quote unquote readings I do name interpretations and number interpretations. I don't do any tarot card readings. I don't do any divine intuitive readings, any oracle readings. I don't do any of that stuff. But I'm saying that, like, if you do that, why are you doing that? You need to ask yourself, why are you doing that? Like, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing because it's in my name. My name says that. My name means to do well in language, to do well in words, to do well in symbols and numbers and letters. My name literally means that. So I know why I do what I do. So for you to get to the divine feminine within yourself, you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. Everything. The guy that you sexing and you know, giving him head and you the best head giver. I'm trying to be subtle with my language. But why? Why are you doing it? You need to know why you're doing that. Is the answer just because that's what I want to do? Good. I want you to keep that same energy when things don't work out the way you have it in your head. Remember that you were doing what you wanted to do. That's also the divine feminine. To be completely sovereign over yourself. Because, see, the mother aspect of God, or the feminine aspect of God, is boundless. She is that I do what I want to do. She is that do as thou wilt. It's the masculine that comes in and starts putting boundaries around her. Bound Aries. To bound Aries. Aries is I am. Or the energy of I am whatever I say I am. When you start putting bound Aries around her, that's when it becomes more masculine. But that's why it's important for you to know why you're doing what you're doing. That's how you know the masculine. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, that's how you know the masculine. But you can only do that by knowing the feminine, which is to go inside yourself. All right. Anywhere there is a lie, there's a form of masculine. So that's why I brought the makeup thing up, okay? The other thing about what the divine feminine is that it's oneness. So if you are still on this, like the white man this and the white man doing that and men are doing this and patriarchy is doing, that's not divine feminine. Because the divine feminine sees everything as one. It's complete darkness. And in the darkness, there is no separation. We're all one. There is no so-called white man. There is no so-called men. I am you and you are me. That is divine feminine. It does not separate. It really is to use your so-called third eye or what really your first eye, whatever you want to call it. But when you're using that or you're seeing things from that perspective, you are not separating anything. You are able to look at how a man treated you horribly and see how you created that experience. That is divine feminine. All this other, like, talking about how everything that men do wrong or whatever, Not because divine feminine again says, I have complete self-accountability and authority over myself. And therefore, she's not blaming anything on the external. It's completely internal. And yes, that crosses over. Like I said, when I teach the self-realization class, I go into all this, but that crosses over into the whole straw man thing. That's why I became a doula. That crosses over into you saying that, no, I'm not going to have my baby laying down, pushing. I'm going to sit up. I'm going to squat. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, the hospital is going to fight you tooth and nail on that. That's a whole nother subject. But that's why more women are deciding to have babies at home so that they can have complete authority over their environment. Because believe it or not, your environment inside yourself has a lot to do with labor pains and why you're even feeling what you're feeling when you're in labor. But that's a whole nother subject. It's not another subject, but it is the same subject. It's all about having complete authority over yourself. Even when we get into the idea of the birth certificate. Of course, when you sign the birth certificate, you've given up authority over your child right there. Something that came out of your body. It's your manifestation. The manifestation of your child came out of your body. You signed the birth certificate, gave the authority over to the United States. That means that you don't understand the divine feminine. Now, I'm not sitting up here. I tell everybody that come to my classes that no, I don't have a solution for that. And no, I haven't figured out how to do it. I know in my head, like I've read like how it should be done. But no, I haven't done it. And I'm not going to sit up here and pretend. Because my thing, and I say this in every single class, I want to fully understand it from an esoteric perspective before I go down that road. Okay? Because I want to understand the fullness of the divine feminine. The paperwork part is masculine. Okay? What else? I think I covered everything else. Yeah, I talked about full accountability. Yeah, so the divine feminine is also understanding that the mother or the feminine aspect of God is the Lord. L-U-R-E-D. Meaning that everything is attracted to her. Everyone is attracted to her. Everyone wants to get on her titty, don't they? Everyone wants to get on her boob because they know that's where the food at. That's the only way I'm going to survive out this, okay? Is I need mom. I need mom. If there's any men on here, I am not leaving you out. Okay? I'm not leaving you out. Don't get all in your feelings, all right? Because you are the protector, right? You are supposed to protect the mother. But you can only protect her if you know that you're supposed to protect her. And the way that you know that you're supposed to protect her is through the knowledge and wisdom that she has in her head and in her heart, and she gives it to you through the womb. That's how the queen bee does it. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. Everything I just talked about, I'll go into way more detail in the self-realization class. If this is my third